shut down. Chosen ones shut them down everywhere. Okay. And you still don't believe chosen ones got special powers. Mm-hmm. Go listen to my song where I said I can reach my hand into the sun and bring it closer. Breathe. Not my will, but his will be done. But you don't believe me. I can take my son. I can take my hand and reach it to the sun and bring it closer to the earth, but you don't believe me. Take my hand and bring the sun closer to the earth. You know you don't believe me? I said I could take my hand and bring it to the earth, closer breathing. I said I could take my hand, reach it to the sun and bring it closer to the earth. Like that's basically what I was saying. I could take my hand and bring it closer to, you know what I'm saying? Not my will be done, but his will be done, but you don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you, basically, I can take my hand and reach it to the sun if God let me. If I reach it to the sun and God can, not my will be done, but God, it can and bring it closer to the earth. You hear me? But and not my will, God's will. I'm telling you, it's not my will, but it's God's will, and you still don't believe me when I'm telling you it's God, not my will, but God's will. That's possible. You don't believe me. That's powerful, ain't it? But I was listening to Crystal Life Coach, a couple other chosen ones. You know what I'm saying? The Galactic Family, and you know, I was listening to. He's lifting us up. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to my brother. You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to think of his name. We'll talk about you in the next one. You hear me? Because I'm not going to get a devil time to cross my thoughts. You hear me? I'm going to keep on moving with it because I'm led in the Holy Spirit. And sometimes when we you know, worldly thoughts are always going to try to set in. That's why it's about renewing my mind. I'm renewing my mind. You hear me? We say by the grace of God. Amen. You can't walk on faith alone. But yeah, the Octoformers shut down, y'all. All around the world, ain't this word? You can't donate plastic Octoformers. They all shut down. Where you at in Texas? Anybody who donate plasma, like, you know what I'm saying, donate plasma, like you might need some money for gas to get back and forth to work. I see a lot of people, they might, you know what I'm saying, just been and got off of work and still have on their dirty clothes, nigga, and so they can get to work tomorrow. Nigga, they off in the place, nigga, because they get paid every 2 weeks, nigga. And the economy nowadays is shocked, you hear me? And then you taking care of kids, and then you ain't got the right insurance, and I know how hard it is to pay for daycare out your pocket. I said, I know how hard it is for you to have to pay for daycare out your pocket and with no type of government assistance. I know how hard it is for you to have to pay for food. You know what I mean? And people thinking you got the good life, you know what I'm saying? All you probably got is a vehicle and a car note, you know what I mean? And you driving around in a pretty car or whatever. But we both know at the end of the day that, like, you eat a lot of fat, you ain't got enough money to go in the store. That's why a lot of people with jobs, you see them eating out and eating food out and shit like that or whatever. And they just got to like certain shit at their house really because they don't really do no shopping really like that because they workaholics. They work 24/7 and they don't get food stamps, nigga. So they not supposed to go grocery shopping, you know what I mean, like that. And the kids eat out too. They mostly go to buffets and shit. Some families live off of buffets and shit. That's why they make buffets. Some families got to live off of that shit. That's helping them. That buffets help the middle class. Buffets are made for like middle class people because you can go in there and pay one price and nigga, you feeding your whole family. They can eat all they can eat And we know black people, when we go to all you can eat buffets and we do that, that's probably all we're gonna eat today. You hear me? And we do that a day when everything frozen in the refrigerator. You don't want to throw nothing out. You don't want to cook, so you go out to eat. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? All the dishes washed, kitchen clean. You don't want to wash no fuck up no kitchen cooking or none of that. You know what I'm saying? So you just want to go out to eat. You know, middle class. Really poor people. I can't even say middle class. What the fuck is middle class? Is either you're poor or you're rich. You hear me? Either you're at the top or you're at the bottom. You hear me? I'm at the bottom. You hear me? I'm right at the bottom with y'all. You hear me? That's why y'all love me. Why you love me? As a rapper, I'm always be at the bottom. You know, I'm always stand for the righteousness, and they kick us to the bottom. You hear me? It's hard being a child of God. You hear me? It ain't hard being a Christian. Anybody can be a Christian. All you got to do is repeat after me. You ain't even got to mean the words, because I can't tell if you mean the words or nothing. I don't even waste my breath. Have you ever seen some people like, hey, you ever know like when you could talk to a motherfucker when they turn blue in the face? You know, it's some people that you can't pray for, and you know that. Like, so why do people still be, but God came to save a sinner? It's some people that you can't save. Some people ain't just sinners, they sinists. God came to save a sinner. You can't save no sinist when it's just like, that's what you love to do. That's like what you really like. You know what I mean? Shit. Guess the devil do got some people that really like the devil. You know, he done rebelled against God. He even, I mean, come on, shit. Them angels up in heaven, you hear me? Shit. Slap me, call me Willie the Foo-Foo. Now, if he can convince the angels up in heaven to, you know, take sides with him to raise the war in heaven, I can imagine how many motherfuckers down here on earth he could imagine he could get to come against poor little old me. Same thing they did to Jesus. You hear me? Man, I said I'm gonna say that again. I got that from you. I got that from somebody, but I'm gonna say that again. No, I'm not gonna repeat myself because that'd be going backwards in time, wouldn't it? I'm not about to try and travel back to a thought that's already gone. You hear me? Let me skip 100 thoughts in my mind and travel to did I time travel because it's 100 thoughts running through my mind right now and I'm skipping them all. You hear me? I'm skipping them all. You hear me? And I'm gonna get to the big thought. You hear me? The big thought is God. God, generate, operate, destroy everything. You're on his own time, generates it, operates, and it destroys everything. Man, they couldn't find out what time was, so they just said God to block you out so you won't start trying to figure out time, because then you know what God is time. Then you can see time. You see God everywhere. Like, damn, I just moved this bowl over here, but it took me time to do it. I'm taking my time right now speaking to y'all. It's the most important thing on this whole live cast right here is God looking at me, nigga. I'm looking right back at him, nigga, but I see him, but I don't think he looking at me, nigga. I'm looking at the clock tick. And it's saying, but I don't know what time that is. I just know that that's whatever the concept that is, that's God, but it ain't even really right there, but it is really right there. You hear me? It says 8 minutes, 46 seconds, 47 seconds, 49 seconds, about to be 9 minutes. I'm about to be live for 9 minutes. You know what I mean? And I'm living through this time and I'm watching every second and every reflection and every tick past me or whatever, and the seconds that I already washed away or whatever, I got some more seconds that's in front of me that's coming, you know what I mean? And I'm still stuck right here. I can't go back and right there, but I am pushing forward, but I'm not pushing forward as fast as I want to catch up with time, you hear me? And grab a hold to, you know what I'm saying? It can't just grab you and just, you know what I mean? I can't, you hear me? Like you know what I mean? It's right there, but you can't see it, but it, you know what I'm saying? Now you see me, now you know what, you hear me? Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. I understand what that really means, you hear me? God love you. I know people was making out. He's saying, God love you. I told a lot of people that I love them too, especially my brother, man. You know what I mean? You couldn't hear what I said, you know what I mean? Maybe he could hear it because you couldn't hear it. You know what I mean? Because it's whispers. Do you ever be looking or just walking or hear something and you be like, I think that happen to everybody where everybody hears something, even be people around be like, did y'all hear that? And don't nobody be knowing what it was. It's paranormal activity going on in the world all around us and shit. And like people and shit that unexplainable shit and shit or whatever that we can't explain and we just sit there and make like it's just a coincidence or some shit. You know what I mean? Face getting the fact. I remember when I looked like this, y'all. My lips were straight though, but my jaws were sunk in like that. Looked like my lips wasn't like that. I can hear jaws thinking. I can't even sink my jaws in like that without my lips being like that. That's wicked. Man, somebody walking around like that. Hell nah. But man, I was just trying to work my hardest today for God. You hear me? Like some kind of way, like you know what I'm saying? Like even if it was just like pushing somebody in a wheelchair or helping somebody, you know what I mean? By just asking them how they going. You hear me? I was trying to look at things different. Uh, Last night I was in so much pain. I couldn't get on her last night and talk to my people, man. I couldn't get on her and talk to nobody or nothing, man. I was in so much pain. And I was thanking God that I was in pain. Like, I don't know, God changing me because, like, I be thanking God that I'm in pain when the pain do come because I ain't never been in pain before, really like that. Just like every once in a while. But so when you ain't never been in pain or been, I thank God for the pain. Like, you know what I'm saying? I kind of felt sick. I thank God for being sick because I know I'm about to be healed. You hear me? So I don't even thank him for the healing part because that's gonna happen anyway. Because it's by his stripes is healed, and I need to be healed, and I need you. When I need you, you always there for me. But when you need me, God, I ain't never there for you. You hear me? You know what I mean? That's why I'm turned away right now because this is how I'm talking to God. You hear me? Because his light shines so bright that even if I'm looking at God, I'm turning my face away from him like this, not even trying to. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not ready to look. I'm not. It's things I got to do before I can really just really look that way. You hear me? And really go that path and take the path that I want to take. I know which path I'm going. I know I choose good over evil, and I never switch sides or whatever. But I can't rush it. I can't go faster than the time God allowed me to go. You hear me? Time allowed me to go because God is time. You hear me? I I can't. I can't move God's message. This gospel ain't gonna be preached to the whole land and to God. It's gonna be on God's time. It ain't gonna be on my time. It ain't gonna be on TD Jake's time. It ain't gonna be on every Christian in the world or Pope's time, man, Father Downey Ministries or whoever's time. You hear me? It's gonna be on his time. He coming like a thief in the night. That means ain't nobody gonna know that concept of time because time ain't time. Time is God. You hear me? You hear me? And it's alive. You hear me? And it's breathing. You breathe air, but I breathe time because I'm 4 times and he gave me a new name and I don't have to breathe oxygen no more. And the second death ain't got no control over me because the first one death didn't have no control over me either, really. They say the second death have no control over them because they realize death is just a delusion like every damn thing else. How the fuck can you kill somebody that can set shit on fire with their mind? You hear me? It's got to be other cases of people like this though. But I wasn't. I couldn't have been born like this. I can tell you all the logic and all the things I done seen in my life and stuff like that. And I'm thinking this is some type of government, like they trying to build some type of biological chemical weapon. Now y'all built that bitch. You hear me? If y'all was trying to build something, United States government or whatever, now y'all built that bitch. Come get me. Come get me. Hey, but I know they ain't got nothing to do with it. You. They probably think that nigga on drugs or something, but I bet you nigga Chris Life Coach no way lying. Nigga, them chosen ones got special powers. Mine is fire, you hear me? I could just set shit on fire in my mind, make shit appear like rocks and shit that wasn't there or whatever. Like, and then the rock was hollow, like, you know what I mean? Like hollow earth, you hear me? Like when I picked up the rock, like, or whatever, like this shit is hollow, you hear me? The earth is hollow. To time, nigga, this earth is hollow to God. Like to create the earth and that shit be hollow to you. Just empty, you hear me? When something hollow, when you shake it up or something, when you just don't sound like it got nothing up inside of it, like it's not a solid foundation. This shit ain't a solid foundation. This shit is hollow. This life is hollow. You see that movie they made, that movie called The Hollow Man? Man, that was a real true story. Like in a way, symbolically speaking, if you want to look at saying the Bible's symbolic, shit, symbolically speaking, that movie was a true story. We can say a lot of movies is true stories, symbolically speaking. We can say Star Wars is a true story because they got laser guns and shit now. When I was a kid, I would have thought they would have never had laser guns. But I did think that in my mind. I said, man, I think, what if all the goddamn octoformers, if this stuff is really evil, like Crystal Life Coach said, what if all the octoformer plasma places shut down? You know, it was right around the eclipse, and then they was talking about the satellites. It might affect the satellites or whatever. How do you think octoformer plasma, all these different octoformer plasma, they got octoformer plasmas all around the world. You hear me? They got them in other countries and shit. You hear me? They got them all around the world to buy and shit. You hear me? So if they got octoformers all around the world and all in America, how's they running all of it? How's they whole network shut down? But you can go to CDL, you can go to CDL forms, plasma or whatever. How's they shit shut down? You hear me? Something affected they satellite, burnt up in the sky. You hear me? That sun got too close to their satellite and burnt a sun ray came off the sun. Why pick their satellite? Why didn't you pick CDL satellite? Tigris, you know them, Tigris. Why you didn't pick them other place satellites? Why octoformer shut down the place I plays in? Why that shit gotta be shut down? You quit plasing or I'll shut that shit down, my son. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? I went to church and there was closed. Sagoos of Satan. Church is in your heart. Nigga, you try to walk to church, nigga. What, you can't walk to your own heart, can you? Nigga, I walked and God closed that bitch. Closed. I said, and I was saying that before I went up there. I said, I don't know. I know I'm not what I was saying or whatever, but it's good to go fellowship. So I'm about to go in here with the evil. You know, I'm for to go face. And I was telling people I was scared. You hear me? And when I got there, it was closed. God worked on me this Sunday. I even reached out to people, a couple of y'all didn't answer y'all phones, or either y'all phones cut off, or you know what I'm saying, a couple people got me blocked, you hear me? I said, I must have said some shit on Facebook because you can tell when you call when somebody got you blocked and shit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, same person that got you blocked, they'll probably try to come in my life. I'm like, man, you got me blocked? I don't even know this number. That's some weird shit. Then I seen somebody faking online like they was me. I see that all the time. Somebody faking like they me, creating a fake account, playing like they 4 times. I see that shit happen all the time. You hear me? That's why I be trying to go live and shit. You hear me? This ugly ass 4 times. They ain't got no more between it out they lying, man. And y'all know I used to broadcast like this, like Burley showing my forehead. That nigga never showed his face. Now I'm showing my face. Y'all and some people done seen my face. Come on, man. Naya, Prez, come on, Driver, all the people out, Freestyle King, Alive Me, Elder God, LS Jordan, you know what I mean? Come on, Ace Bay, come on, Honey Diamond. Come on, you know what I mean? I know some of these people, celebrities, I ain't gonna just keep naming people like, you know what I'm saying, and put they Nicki Minaj and Tyler Perry and all of these people, you know, I ain't gonna just go to naming people that want to be, you know, they different characters, they human characters. Like, I just want a character where I can be human, because you can't even be yourself and be human. So motherfuckers will create a character just so they can be human, because they can't be human because shit. Some people like niggas, some people they superpowers is money, nigga. I can burn up all your shit in your banking account, nigga, inside of the vault, nigga, while the vault closed, nigga. All the money in the banks and shit burn up, nigga. I just go walking past banks and shit and burn up all the money off in they shit. Nigga, they banks and all they shit just get to catching on fire. You hear me? Go to playing with me and try to lock me up and put me in a room or something somewhere. I can do that shit from a distance. I can set shit on fire. So if y'all go to fucking with me, try to lock me up, I'm the most dangerous thing down here on earth, nigga. The fuck up out of here, boy. I'm a weapon. I'm a weapon of mass destruction. Boy, we hit the jackpot this time. My brother said that too. He said, he was like, man, we've been hit the lottery, you hear me? And people be saying weird shit to me, be like, boy, you don't even know who you are. You hear me? My daddy used to, man, I see why my daddy used to call me the devil. Like, you Buzzlebee, boy. They talk about the 10 kings of hell and Buzzlebee and all that shit or whatever, but like, just like people scared of their own shadow, like that was just, boy, it's a scary thing to get close to God. That's what my daddy used to mainly say or whatever. He throw all these hints at me. He hit me with low blows and stuff like that just so, because he knew what I was going to go through. You hear me? If I do it, so then when other people in life, when he had to go through certain shit in life, your parents, you be thinking they doing you wrong, or little shit they said to you and they didn't say it to the other one or whatever. And then when you go through certain shit in life, it helps you though. My parents were smarter than a motherfucker. I know they went to heaven when they died. You hear me? I know where I'm gonna go when I die. You hear me? Ain't that good to know where people gonna go when they die that you love? You hear me? But that, and then when you start seeing this shit or whatever, man, that make it wrong for you not to try to save people or try to warn people or try to tell people like that's all it really is what you gonna do with this. Like, that's your purpose. Either you gonna go to heaven or hell. You hear me? You gotta choose to live your life with a purpose. You know what I'm saying? And it's to do positive things and good energy and uplift people, because no matter what you're going through, it's always somebody going through something worse, or somebody that you can help. Or maybe you got too much pride in the way to tell your story, or your pain, and grieving with your pain and not letting it out to somebody else that could save somebody else's life from what you already, because they experiencing it or what they going through. You know what I mean? That's what the chosen ones is about. We're about uplifting the spirit, not uplifting the flesh. You hear me? We can come on here with some rock revivals. You know what I'm saying? We can come on here with some Lucci Lagos, the new ones. You know, we can pull up in the skyscraper. You know, I'm Phantom, nigga. The skyscraper Phantom, the Phantom truck, nigga. We can play a game all we want to. We can throw rocks and hold our hands. We can go into the base of our enemies and play like we one of them amongst them. You hear me? We can go. We children of light, and we can go amongst the darkness, and we can dim our light. You hear me? When we go and we can think that these motherfuckers can't see us or whatever, but we gotta dim our light, nigga. You hear me? We gotta dim our lights. You hear me? Because if we don't dim our light, you hear me? Motherfuckers gonna flee. But like, you know what I'm saying? I thought I could go. That's why I was wondering why people was hating me. They was trying to make me feel comfortable. When you dim your light or whatever, you dim your light, and then you be thinking these demons and this darkness, you be thinking they can't see you or whatever. But now it's just playing a game with you. See, that motherfucker want to try to play chess too. You think you playing chess, but that motherfucker trying to think ahead of you too. That motherfucker make some good moves. I ain't gonna lie to you. You hear me? Make some good moves. Get up the street before you and shit. You know what I mean? But threaten you when they get up the street. When they was back there, they played like they needed some help pushing their car. You hear me? So you could have been a good Samaritan to do over there. They ran out of gas. Oh, they need some help, and ran over there to help them use their car. You could have said fuck them, but you said fuck them and not help them. And then you see down the street they didn't need your help anyway. Down the street they gunning for you. You hear me? They didn't teleport a light shot in this darkness or whatever. That's the reason why I passed your ass up and I didn't help you. Because if I would have let you got in front of me, like really, you know what I'm saying? Because this shit an obstacle to lose. That's why y'all ass really back there. I know you really back there, but I'm going to see if I would have helped you. Y'all wouldn't even gave me a ride up the street. As soon as your car would have started, y'all would have drove off and I would have said, hey, could you take me over here? Y'all wouldn't have took me nowhere. You would have said, man, I ain't got that much gas. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? That could have been that purple. Or up the street, you would have, you know what I'm saying? Up the street, you would have, nigga, popped my noodle, nigga, and took the little money out of my pocket. Just because didn't nobody see it. All I had was $30, nigga. I mean, you actually motherfuckers out there that will kill you for $30, nigga. You hear me? It's people out there that will kill you for $5, $20, $30. You hear me? Shit, that nigga, he went to the doctor. He been fucking so. They told him he got HIV. He died slow. You hear me? No. But there's people out there that kill you for $30 just because they know they can get away with it. Man, ain't nobody never seen him. Ain't no witnesses, man, or whatever. I done killed 10 people the same way just because they been getting away with it. I've been killing niggas over $50. You hear me? Every time I catch a nigga slipping and I'm doing this bad, I'll kill a nigga over $50. There's people out there that do that. Take your... Man, and then a tree lost his life to make the money, and then you taking the life of a piece of paper. Then it take time to read on some piece of paper. And I hate that it's written on a piece of paper because the original Bible was written on stone, baby. You hear me? It was written on a solid foundation. It wasn't written on paper. It didn't need no printing machine. It was written on stone. Stone tablets. Back then, they wasn't writing on paper. They wasn't cutting down trees. Well, I mean, you don't think they had the technology back then? They knew back then. At least they knew back then, man. God said, don't touch my green thing. Don't touch my trees or whatever. You know what I mean? It's green. He don't want you making no money out those trees and all of that shit that y'all evil-ass, wicked-ass people that built this world on. This world is built on straight corruption and evil, and it's sadistic. And you talking about they took God out of school, nigga. They took the devil out of school, nigga, because niggas like me started catching a Pledge of Allegiance, nigga. Everybody start finding out what allegiance is. You hear me? Go watch that movie Allegiance with all them damn demons in it, and then you pledging allegiance to a flag. Now, if you would have pledged allegiance to God's angels, you ain't for the pledge allegiance to them God's angels. I'm not about to pray to God's angels, allegiance. So what angel? To no angels, no fallen angels or no angels up in heaven. Nigga, I'm going straight to the throne. I'm praying to God. So what did you pledge allegiance to a flag for? But they used to worship statues and brass and things that couldn't talk and things that couldn't hear and see. They people did that in the Bible, you know, in Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why God, you know, did what he did. But I mean, it's just crazy, you know. It just doesn't make any sense to me, man. It just doesn't make any sense to me, man. People sit there and praise money, tell you that they don't love money. When God said the root to lead to all evil, shit, I used to love money, nigga. Then I seen the way that shit do people and the way that shit ruin people's lives and how corrupt the world is built on money and how, like, if that person would have had some money, that person could have been properly placed in the ground. Just don't know. You hear me? Just don't know. Ain't that crazy? You get a plot next to your mom and daddy number. Yeah, I'm like, I don't care, nigga. I'm just saying that shit weird to me. Like I care when I go when I die. You hear me? No, for somebody to have a plot, so they got a plot. So that means when they die, they're gonna be married next to my mom and my daddy now. But everybody else, when they die, your brothers and shit, all them being cremated. I'm just saying. And it ain't like you had the money to bury them too. And put everybody next to mom and daddy and them. You don't want them nowhere next to you and your mom and your daddy and them because you the first child that had to leave the house. know what the fuck wrong with people. What bitterness in people's heart. I can tell the way people look at me, they don't like me. And I never said nothing about them because I said to your face, I'm saying it now, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna look at this video. Man, people better get that evenness out their heart. I'm the remnant. That's why you don't like me. They got people on here, people talking about family members and stuff. That's why people don't like y'all. You don't like me, and people don't like y'all. It's 144,000 people that ain't gonna like the way I've been treated. You hear me? When you put it in God's hands, God will have people stand up for you. Show myself off, you hear me? Because I'm a diamond, you hear me? And I'm royal, you hear me? Shit, so I'm going to show myself off. You let me quit doing that, you hear me? Because I ain't got to show myself off, because at the point in time, God going to show me off. And I see, and they be telling you the message ain't for everybody. I know they messages offend people, and I be seeing people in the comments, don't you be knowing when somebody talking specifically about you, when the word is divine and the word is uplifted to the Most High, all praise to the Most High, and you know a person talk about you, and then you be going down to these people's comment section. That's why they don't pay attention to the comments. They like everybody's comments, you hear me? But they be knowing that they be hoping that it get through the specific person, and that be the person that liable not to even leave a comment, you know? Because they on the same level as you. They usually oath as you because they one of the chosen ones, you hear me? And it's good for us to talk about each other, you know what I'm saying, in code and secret, where they don't even know we be talking about each other, you know what I mean? And God said, you know what I'm saying, that person, whoever raped you, or you know what I mean? Oh, I'm being led in the Holy Spirit. I don't like this because stuff be making me want to cry, like, you know what I mean? How do I know that you've been raped, sister? How do I know this? Like childhood memories or whatever you went through, or you know what I'm saying, while people grow up and you find some women, they be overprotected of their daughters and different things, and you know, the functions of sometimes kids be so young and something happened to them, and over the years go by, stories and shit get twisted, and then it's up to you as a parent to protect your child, even from a bad childhood memory. Is something that's an accident that you don't want to come back to haunt your child, you know what I mean? So, but you know what I'm saying? That mirror fell on my head, and my whole life, all people do was make fun of me of how, like, when I say something or I talk or I speak or whatever, that's mostly all people. How you think that affect me my whole life? People that know my story, they tend to, you know what I'm saying, laugh at it, you know what I mean? Like, it was a joke or something. Like, man, boy, that mirror fucked up your brain. Like, when I say shit, it, you know what I'm saying? So that mirror fucked up my brain when I read something out the Bible and I interpret it totally different than everybody else. It's a reason why when I read something, I comprehend it different. It's a reason why the mirror fell on my head and I comprehend the same thing that you comprehend. And we both agree that it means the same thing, but you look at it different. You don't get it like me. You get it, but you don't get it like me. You get the picture, but you don't get the seriousness of the picture. You don't get the fire, unclenched gashing of the teeth. If you had the power to just set shit on fire with your mind, you would probably just go around burning shit up. You hear me? You know when Tupac talked about the outlaws, and one of the outlaws was talking about we burning the earth? All these rappers that imitate, you know what I'm saying? They say the moon is a dwarf star. I mean, no, they said Pluto is a dwarf star, and it's the coldest, farthest star out there freezing. You hear me? Could that be a lake of fire out there? Nigga, Pluto, they talking about it ain't even a planet, it's a dwarf planet now. Like, they basically telling you that shit don't really even exist. It's a big ass chunk of ice sitting out there, like just sitting out there. Ain't that crazy though? And we got that make me think about the Antarctic, nigga. That ice just sitting out there, you know what I mean? Like if the whole Earth was destroyed, nigga, and what if the ice caps was just the only thing? That shit just be floating out there in space, and then somebody else see it. Was that a whole civilization? Was Pluto once a planet? Really was a planet? That's what they say. Was it really life on that planet? You know what I mean? In some kind of way, everything else was destroyed, but it's ice caps. Cause you know when you are the whole planet turned into an ice capsule from nuclear winter, and that's what happened to the Earth. We'll turn into a planet. We just be sitting over there freezing, like you know what I mean? Cause I think that'll pull us away from the sun. If the Earth gets pulled too far away from the sun, then life won't be habitable to Earth. I mean, life won't be habitable to our human species. You know what I'm saying? Well, to all of the human species. I think some life will survive. I think some humans will survive. The chosen ones. It ain't nothing we can't survive. It ain't nothing I can't survive without God. You can spray all the chemtrails you want. You can poison all the McDonald's foods you want to. God gonna burn up all this shit anyway. Excuse me for my language. You hear me? Shit. I don't see how the shit out my ass could become a cuss word. Y'all the ones who make up all of this stuff. It do speak on in there where God said he's gonna get the chosen ones, he's gonna get them a new name on the started stone, and they're gonna be able to eat the hidden manna. You hear me? The hidden dew, you hear me? The hidden shit, you hear me? The shit hidden in the darkness. The darkness doo-doo. Ooh, the darkness doo-doo. You hear me? All of the bullshit you had to go through in life. You hear me? We're gonna eat that shit. God telling you that we're gonna eat that shit. We're gonna take it. We're gonna endure to the end, nigga. We're gonna go through all our trials, chosen ones. We're gonna go through all our missions, like you said, Royal Diamond, you hear me? And we're gonna complete our quest, you hear me? We ain't gonna give up on God no matter how hard the struggle seems, you hear me? Because we know we royal, you hear me? Y'all think she talking about royal you down here on earth. She talking about royal you in heaven. We know we got mansions in heaven we trying to build on, you hear me? When she talking about royal you, that's all people think is earth. Y'all like, well, why ain't no crown on her head? You know what I'm saying? It's all semantics, you hear me? Because they walking in the flesh. They not thinking about the spiritual. They ain't thinking about no crowns in heaven. You know, it's gonna be people, hell, it's gonna be people in higher places in heaven than other people. You know, if I did more work for God than you, don't I deserve a better reward than you? If I work harder than you, don't I deserve more pay than you? If I do more for God than you, and I ain't saying on the alley because he never judges on the alley. Like he never judges by the quantity out of he judges by the quality, you know. Never judges like that. He sees what we don't see. His judgment is just, his judgment is fair. So that's letting us know we can think we lost the race and we can think and we can count ourselves out, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't gonna count us out. That's what our problem is, chosen ones. We count ourselves out. We just don't understand that grace. That's what that is. We gotta let that pride go and we gotta accept God's grace because we don't want to accept it because we know how great God is, really. You know what I'm saying? We glorify the Lord so much that, like, you know, we can't let our proudness or we can't be boastful. We can't get too proud to beg, you know. Because if we don't get too proud to beg, we would never have to beg. But sometimes we find ourselves begging because we get too proud to beg. And God can already see that right now he at the state where he's getting a little too proud to beg. You hear me? And sometimes that just be prayer, you know, because we pray and we ask God for things that we need, don't we? So we question God and we question God when he don't give us the things that we think that we need or whatever. But God know what we need when we don't know what we need. We pray about things like that, Lord. I mean, we pray God help us win the lottery. You hear me? When you hear lottery stories, somebody say they went out and picked their kids' numbers, or they did this, or they done that, and they came up on the lottery number. You don't never hear nobody saying like, "Man, I was praying, I put my faith in God, and I won the lottery, and I plan on spending all." You don't hear nobody saying none of that. When I win the lottery, I'm gonna build a homeless community when I win the lottery. Unless I decide not to win it, you know what I mean? Like I might decide I don't even want the money, man. It ain't even worth building the homeless community because the people I'm gonna take off the street and try to put it because they ain't got nowhere to go and it's about to be freezing and it's so many homeless people to freeze to death year around and they don't talk about that pandemic, you know what I'm saying? But some people be homeless because like they'll steal everything out the homeless shelter. They'll take that shit to the pawn shop. I could put flat screens in there, you know what I'm saying, have it furnished, the furnished homeless shelters where people can go in there watch cable TV. People be tearing up the shit. People ain't got no respect for themselves. They'll be doing drugs and doing everything when I done just put a roof over their head and they can watch cable TV, like, you know what I mean? And that just took you off the streets. You under AC, it's hot out there. You up under a shade tree, you hear me? Or it's freezing out there. You in a blanket, you in a tent trying not to freeze to death. And you in a homeless community, you know what I mean? And then that's just gonna be people getting banded. I already see people getting banded from a homeless community. That's why it's gonna automatically gotta have a gate around the homeless community. Automatically gotta have security with the homeless community. Cause a lot of homeless people is criminals, and I understand that though, are druggies. You can't let the drugs go enough to save up your money to get you a place to stay, buddy. You can't even let the drugs go, you know what I'm saying, to gain back the weight in your face, buddy, and your lips and your facial structure and your body where your rib cage and shit. Nigga, sometimes this shit just take a hold of people, you know what I mean? Everybody out there fighting something, you know what I mean? But you really can't let the drugs go. All you gotta do is take everything to the Lord in prayer. All you need is Jesus, really. Man, I'm telling you, man, it ain't nothing possible. Like, nigga, but with God, anything is possible. But without God, man, shit, it ain't nothing possible. Like, nigga, everything seems impossible. But if you got God, ain't nothing impossible as long as you got God in your heart. Because your heart connected to your soul. So don't let your mind play tricks on you and start thinking with your full mind. Because as long as you start thinking in the spirit, you thinking with your full mind. You know what I'm saying? As long as you let God do the thinking for the other part of your mind, as long as you let God be that memory bank, then you straight. That's why it's about staying fast, you know what I mean? And remembering that you don't think with your whole mind. And start thinking with your whole mind. Because the only reason why you don't think with your whole mind, because they limit you by telling you that. Now, if somebody can tell you that, that's the first thing they put in your memory bank, and your brain is like a computer, it's like a memory bank. That's why they're able to look at the human brain and they be able to make devices like the computer and make the web or whatever, because all it's doing is gaining memory. And it can store more memory than the brain because they can make it bigger and bigger and bigger and put another hard drive in it and put that memory over there. And I can always put that hard drive back in there and be right back with that memory. It's like a brain transplant. They already doing it with the computers, but they can't possibly disconnect the brain and put it inside of another person and make them think the same. You're going to be that, you know what I'm saying? It's that consciousness, because when you brain consciousness leave your body, you hear me? That'll be consciousness traveling to a whole nother body, a brain connected to a whole nother heart. You know what I'm saying? Connected to a whole nother soul. You can't do that. It's impossible. It's only certain limits that the doctors can go with it. That's how they can. Doctors, like, man, I bet you it be a lot of doctors go to church on Sunday. You hear me? They go to church every Sunday. You hear me? They just see people die in the hospital. Man, a lot of doctors, how you think they get through it? Some of these people is doctors by God, you hear me? They go in there and use the other stuff, but a lot of people a lot of angels work at them hospitals. Like a lot of things that you don't be seeing going on in them hospitals. That's how people be surviving, you know? Ooh. Sometimes people pull that plug too soon on people too, and that's why it's all about time. If you give a person enough time for their body to heal, or for them drugs to wear off, you know what I'm saying, that a person that's in the hospital, especially if you smoke PCP, a lot of times people get shot and they be on that PCP or whatever, And if it wasn't for that, that shit kept their heart to beating, you know what I'm saying? Because your heart tick like a clock, you hear me? And long as your heart beating, your brain is functioning and it's thinking, and so it don't even matter. Like, how did he lose that much blood and live? And then you get to the hospital and they got to give you some more blood, you know what I'm saying? And they it's a miracle he survived. It's nothing we did, you hear me? All we did was sew him up, you hear me? Because you've been and lost too much blood because it's power in the blood. Because while he's sewing you up, your blood still ain't dried on that ground right there. And God heard your blood crying out to him. As soon as it come out that body, when you lose some blood, God be feeling it. God can hear that. God don't like these plasma places. That's why he shot Octoformer down, man. He shut down their whole satellite. I mean, that's a warning. I told you, that was like a warning. You hear me? Either you giving life, donating plasma, or you not. You hear me? You can't serve two masters. Either you're doing it for the money or either you're doing it to save a life. And if you just doing it for the money, it ain't even worth doing it for the money, because then you're giving up your plasma, your nutrients in your body, and you only doing that for money. And God gave you the nutrients and put them in your body. Do you think he wants you to? That's why the love of money is the root to lead to all evil, because we'll go donate our plasma. I'm talking to myself now. It's some people that see how evil that shit really is, and they try to explain it to you. And then they know photons don't get it. If photons knew how evil that shit was, he'll quit plasma. Now I didn't quit plasma. You hear me? I'd rather go take some shit to the pawn shop than go plasma. I'm pretty sure Octoformer gonna be open tomorrow because they shut down their whole network, because that's my favorite plasma play. That's where I like to go plasma at. And it ain't only because of that, because I'm doing it out to save my life. That's the reason why I can't quit. Because you mean to tell me I can get some money for it and I need money and I can save a life? So the point about, to some people can't quit donating plasma because they know every time they go in there, if they ain't doing nothing else with their life, they know that they ain't got no STDs and no diseases or nothing, and they know they plasma is saving somebody's life or helping some burn victim or something. And they getting some money doing it. And money is the root to lead to all evil, and I can do something good and get some money at the same time. So, you know what I'm saying? The chosen ones, you know what I mean? Shut Octoformer down, you know? Shit, that shit ain't gonna be open tomorrow. I can sit here and lie to you all you want to. Think about it. Like, they can't get that shit back up and running. They got to put a whole nother satellite up in the sky. That shit is worldwide. Like, they got a big-ass satellite up there, and they ain't telling people that our satellite is down. When you go on the phone, people working for them, they can't just, man, well, our satellite is down on the sky. Ain't no telling how long we going to be down. However long, you know, when they built that satellite, I'm pretty sure they knew their satellite was going to come down. I don't know if when they was fighting a war with Israel, when they was launching to defend Israel, if they knocked one of the Octoformer satellites down or what happened, you hear me? I know that they knocked their shit down, though. It's people who probably actually lose their life behind that, too, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they can't get the life-saving plasma. That's why it's life-saving plasma. And Octoformer shut down around the world. You know what I mean? Just because, you know what I mean? And that's just God preparing me, like, to now when I go donate plasma, it'll just be to save a life, really. Like, you know what I mean? All them times I donated just for the money and to save a life, now I got to just donate. If I'm doing it, it got to just to be to save a life. Like, you know what I mean? The money, I got to take the money and just, like, I can't spend it. I got to do something. The money got to go towards the homeless community or something. Because I don't even think I'm a plasma no more, really. I think that's what it's all about, really. Because I was listening to them and I didn't know how evil it was. You could be plasma for the right thing and giving your blood. And we know how the Bible says power in the blood. But these phlebotomists, that's why people go with these phlebotomists. You got to be worried of the ones that's wearing weave and shit like that too. These motherfucking witches, these motherfuckers go work in there. And when they be throwing the blood away, they don't be throwing blood away. They find certain ones and they get a little piece of your blood and take it home with them. Now they can do witchcraft and use your blood to do witchcraft. You hear me? And I'm the remnant. If you try to take my blood to do witchcraft, you know they take plasma. Think about how they take plasma and they can build the sun with plasma. Think I donate plasma, just walk past the plasma place, yelled in the air, Jesus, real loud, and then the ground set on fire. But that ain't the first time I set something on fire, you hear me? Before I started donating plasma, I can't recall shit setting on fire. Am I setting shit on fire or somebody trying to do voodoo, and that's why I'm setting shit on fire? But they said that's one of my superpowers. It just had been revealed to me, like it's just now being revealed to me that they taking people's plasma, like, and they trying to do witchcraft with it. I can set shit on fire. Do you hear me? Quit playing with my plasma before you fall dead wherever you at. The next time somebody play with my blood or my plasma, when I try to come give life-saving plasma, your whole family gonna start falling dead. I don't even know why I just said that, Lord. Why they whole family, Lord? Oh, they curse their whole family playing with me, boy. God ain't playing. Your whole family, people in your family gonna start falling dead. You ain't gonna fall dead. He gonna start taking the ones that's close to you. You hear me? Playing with my blood. You hear me? I should be able to go donate my life-saving plasma, and you should nobody take my plasma and try to do no witchcraft with it. They shouldn't take my shit to do no sun with it. It say drink not for drunkenness sake. So I'm giving my plasma not for the money's sake. I'm doing it to save a person's life. So my plasma should be taken. It's life-saving plasma. You shouldn't take it to build no sun with it or no witchcraft or none of that shit. You hear me? He come to destroy the world by fire through me, the Holy Spirit. Believe what you want to believe. The God is not no respecter of persons. Angels up in heaven. When you die, your spirit leave your body, and then they say you become a ghost. You hear me? So it's one person that's walking. That's the Holy Spirit, and I guess when they die, they gonna become the Holy Ghost, and that person ain't me. But he coming like a thief in the night. You hear me? Tell another lie to try to cover up that lie. You know what I mean? Because time gonna cover everything. You can't lie to time. You hear me? Because time gonna everything that's in the darkness gonna come to light. You hear me? Shit, darkness can't outshine the light. You hear me? It's a lesser light. Darkness is light. It's a lesser light. You hear me? Everything gotta have an opposite. Ain't one better than two. How is one better than two? You gotta go through one to get to two. You hear me? How is two better than one? Because without one, you couldn't have never got to two. Do you get it now? You hear me? I ain't shit without my homeboys. Tupac said it best.